Hello and welcome to the Marine Channel. I'm going to take you on board this rather splendid Galeon 640 Fly. She's rather handsome. Now I'm going to start obviously at the stern. Just talk about this high-low platform here. Apparently this will take about half a ton. So you can get a Williams 325 tender on here if that is your wish. Now I'm going to actually show you the crew cabin and the engine room first. So for those of you who don't like crew cabins and engine rooms, just bear with me because we will move on later. It's just that as we're here, it seems churlish not to show you what we've got. So it's got crew accommodation for 2 people. Now we are at a boat show, so there is a little bit of detritus down here, pads, some pads and cushions and all that kind of stuff. But in behind here, we've got 2 very generous bunks, and I've got to say, really impressed with the fit and finish in here. It's absolutely up to the standard of the rest of the boat. So in that sense, you could use this as an additional guest cabin if you are crewing it yourself. There's a little combi oven down here, or combi microwave. There's a sink down here as well. Lots and lots of there it is, sorry. There is our ensuite. I was expecting that to be a wardrobe. There's our ensuite. There's also a fridge down here. And of course, for all the people on board, we've got our washing machine. And that's where our storage is down here. So, not shoddy at all. And this is our access into the engine room. So, step up through this water proof door or sealed door, and we've got these rather lovely Volvo Pentas, 1,000 horsepower each on shaft drives. You can also have this boat with IPS. Just going to sneak around here. You can see all your switch panels and wiring and cabling and extractors, and I think our Jenny's down here. There it is. And I'm looking at this and I'm guessing that if you don't have the crew cabin, I don't know, is that storage? Is that a tender storage? Not sure. Apologies, I'll have to ask. But a very large engine room. We'll move out. Things like our filters and that, all very, or strainers, very easy to see. Back out here into the crew area. We'll shut that door up. We'll make our way back up onto the platform here and go to the rest of the boat. I thought I'd show you that because I was really impressed with the accommodation on there. And one of the things about Galeon as a brand is they do have this reputation for really, really good accommodation. Galeon themselves, family-owned business, which I hadn't realised. They've been in business about 40 years. They made boats for other people for the first 20 years or so. And then about 20 years ago, they started making their own boats under the Galeon name. So here we are, very, very large aft seating area, big U-shape. I would guess that would take 10, 12 people comfortably. You can also see here this kind of roller blind that goes down in the rails at the side there, so you can shut this area off for a bit more privacy. Things like table, you've got options, of course. You can go for different materials, different finishes. And then I rather like this. Decent 2-seater here. You have got access down to the engine room from here as well. There's a ladder that goes down there, but I would think most commonly you'll go in through the crew cabin. And then I've got to have a look at this. I don't know what's in here. I'm going to regret it because I'm going to need 2 hands. Yes, all it is a big storage area. Now, another Galeon kind of feature that they've become really well known for is these drop-down balconies at the side. And this liberates a huge amount of space. This is a bit disconcerting because this is actually glazed. See the dark bit here? This is glazed. You can actually see through kind of to the water, I think. But I keep looking at it and thinking, is that there or isn't that there? But what it does, it adds a good 1.5 meters, I would say, to the beam of the boat. And then you've got this lovely kind of bar area through into the kitchen there with this drop-down counter. What a lovely place to sit and have your sundowners. And it's the same arrangement over on the port side as well. So this one is in the up position. Yeah, you can see, just see through that that glazing to the other boat there. But with both of those down, both these areas in use, you've got a huge entertaining space. Absolutely gorgeous. So Galeon design here. You've got this area that drops down. So this is all completely open at the moment. Nice big deep countertops here. It's rather nice. Good sized kitchen, sink, oven, burner, and everything's very generous. You know, everything feels very large. Lots of storage up along the top here as well. Never have too much storage on a boat. And then over here we've got our domestic size fridge and freezer. And you can see there we've also got some bar stools on the inside here. So if that window is shut, we could still sit there and look out across the ocean, which is rather lovely. Let's go forward a little bit. And then we've got our second kind of area for lounging and so forth. We've got a big pop-up TV that retracts down into this panelling here. This is rather nice as well. I like all this design here, all these LEDs. And as one would expect, huge amounts of glazing. And also these glazed panels up here, which you've got a blind for so you can shut those. But the effect is that this place just feels absolutely flooded with light. Cracking helm position, 2 individual seats, all the adjustments that you could ever wish for. A couple of big multifunction display screens here. I'm not going to open it, but this section here, actually, you can see the handles. We can undo that, and this actually slides back up into the roof space. Goes back up in here. So what you can have is direct access out onto the foredeck area without having to use the side decks, which is rather nice. Now the alternative is, obviously if you're at the helm, you can go out through this side door here. So we're going to use this one in a minute. Good for shouting at crew, but also good for getting out here as and when you need to. Another neat feature on here, you can see that's a sun pad, but you can see there's a kind of a pedestal leg underneath that. So that can be raised and lowered, and that can then become your table. But apparently you can also move that across. So you can play around with this configuration. There's a whole bunch of buttons here that you can use. You can move them forward, back, up, down, all that kind of good stuff. And then you can access back into the saloon area. But a real party boat, really sociable space. Nice and safe and easy to move around. Lots of big glazing. But let me take you down below, because it's an interesting configuration. So, there's a staircase here on the port side, which takes you down to the accommodation. Now, this is our VIP space. It's a very, very nice space indeed. Now, this is the only cabin via this staircase. So there is an argument, if you like, that this might even be your owner's accommodation, because it's a lovely, lovely space. Big double bed. AV equipment on the wall there. A little desk there, a little table, a little sofa there. Really, really nice space and very, very private. You can also see up in the ceiling there, there's some natural daylight coming through here, and there are blinds there as well. So obviously if there's people up there on the foredeck using those lounges, you might want to close that. But at night time, you can open all that up and see the starlight coming through. Really nice headboard as well. Swing round, and this is our ensuite, as one would expect. Toilet, good sized sink, and then a proper separate shower compartment. So this is kind of, let's say, standalone in terms of the only thing that's down this staircase. So very, very private. But Galeon have got this great reputation for having this kind of midship configuration that has a private staircase. And I do like them. On the previous Galeons we've been on, one of the things that I've really liked. But this is slightly different. So we still have this staircase here, but it does a lot more. First of all, straight ahead, you've got your day heads there. So that's accessible. And it's on this kind of half landing, as it were. Shut that one up. Take another step down, and now we've got a choice. We can go left or we can go right. If we go right, then we're into a lovely twin. And I think what's impressive about this twin is that it's full beam, so it runs the full width of the boat. So actually when we pan round, that's to the other side, it makes this room feel really, really large. Also plenty of storage, and unsurprisingly the heads for this is the day heads that we've just seen. So at night you've got, if you like, a private ensuite as well. Okay, step back into the lobby and through to what is the owner's accommodation. So full beam master, this lovely little breakfast area over here, or sit and have a drink, and then a good sized bed, really good standing headroom as well, must be over 2 meters I would think. All this lovely kind of Alcantara. Do you remember we saw that in the crew accommodation, the headlining? As we said, the standard of fit and fit out on this boat is really high. And then we've got all this storage along the side here. And then going forward, this is where we've got our ensuite. So sink, lovely big glazed window. And then swing round again, we've got a separate shower cubicle. Again, rainfall shower and glazing. So I thought that was a bit unusual because, as I say, Galeons normally we have this kind of midship staircase, but it leads to one cabin. On this one, it actually takes us to 2, which I think is a great idea, because if you're a family and you've got kids, you know, mum and dad can be down in the owners, and the kids can be in that twin berth, and then your guests can be tucked away in the bow with their separate staircase. But as a family, you're all kind of sticking together, which I think is nice. One final area, we're going to go up onto the Flybridge, and unsurprisingly, it's pretty generous in terms of space up here. So, moving forward, obviously we've got our helm position here. This one's got the large hard top with the sliding sun blind. And then looking down over the bow is lovely. There's some very nice boats here as well. And then just, we have got some guests on board, so I won't linger too long, but we've got this lovely bar area. Usual kind of stuff. Got our grill here, sink here, and then refrigeration ice maker. And that's a nice little area to sit and have a drink. And again, this vast area there where you could sit 10 or 12 people. So let's just move on back down to kind of finish up. Real big boat feel on this 640. I'm going to head out using the little balcony, and I think we'll finish up on the bow. Hope you've enjoyed that one. If you've not subscribed to the Marine channel yet, please subscribe, click the alert button as well, and then we can let you know whenever a new video goes live.